There will come a time in life when the storm clouds gather, when the winds of adversity blow against everything you have built, and when the very foundation of your faith is tested. It is in these moments that many begin to question, to wonder, to doubt. But I tell you today, hardships are not the end of you. They are the beginning of something greater. Trouble does not come to destroy you. It comes to reveal you. The challenges you face are not signs of your defeat, but indicators of your growth. Every hardship carries within it the seed of opportunity, and every trial is an announcement that God is preparing you for another level. The problem is not the hardship itself. The problem is our perspective. If you see a storm as your end, you will fear it. But if you see it as a passage to greater strength, you will endure it with confidence. God never promised that life would be free of difficulties, but He did promise that He would never leave you nor forsake you. He did not say the fire would not come, but He did say that when you walk through it, you will not be burned. He did not say the waters would not rise, but He did say they would not overwhelm you. So why do you fear? Why do you doubt? If the God who created the heavens and the earth is watching over you, then no storm is strong enough to take you under. Look at the eagle. When the storm comes, it does not hide. It does not retreat. It spreads its wings and rises above the winds, using the very thing that threatens it to lift it higher. That is the posture of a person who trusts in God's care. They do not panic. They do not run. They do not give up. They rest in the everlasting arms of the one who holds all things together. Hardship is temporary, but God's faithfulness is eternal. The pain may last for a night, but joy is coming in the morning. The trial may seem unbearable now, but there is glory on the other side. Do not let temporary struggles make you forget an eternal promise. Do not let a moment of hardship shake a lifetime of faith. Instead of focusing on the problem, focus on the provider. Instead of meditating on the storm, meditate on His strength. Hardships have a way of exposing the deepest parts of who we are. When life is comfortable, when everything is flowing smoothly, it is easy to believe we are strong, full of faith, and confident in our purpose. But it is only when we encounter difficulties that our true character is tested. Hardships are not designed to break us. They are allowed to reveal the strength that has been within us all along. Pressure does not create weakness. It exposes what is already there. Think of a seed buried beneath the soil. The process of breaking through the ground is not easy. The seed must push against the dirt, endure the weight of the earth above it, and break through the surface before it can ever become what it was designed to be. If the seed refuses to press forward, it will never reach its full potential. In the same way, every hardship we face is an opportunity to push beyond limitations, to break through barriers, and to grow into the person we were created to be. Without resistance, there is no progress. Without pressure, there is no transformation. Many people see hardships as a curse, as something meant to destroy them. They wonder why life is difficult, why they face opposition, why the road seems tougher than expected. But what if the very thing you are fighting against is the tool God is using to prepare you? What if the struggle is the process that makes you stronger? Every champion has faced adversity. Every leader has endured trials. And every person who has achieved great things has had to overcome something. It is not success that makes a person strong. It is the journey through struggle that builds unshakable character. Gold must go through fire to be purified. Diamonds are formed under extreme pressure. The tallest trees have the deepest roots. And those roots only grow deep because of the storms they have endured. The principle is simple. The greater the hardship, the greater the strength that is produced. No one becomes great by avoiding struggle. No one fulfills their purpose by escaping challenges. It is in the difficulties of life that we discover who we really are, what we are truly capable of, and how much potential has been hidden within us. There is something about struggle that forces growth. When a child is learning to walk, they stumble, they fall, they get hurt. But it is in the falling that they learn balance. It is in the struggle that they develop strength in their legs. If a child never had to struggle to walk, they would never build the muscles needed to stand. The same principle applies to life. When we go through hardships, we are building muscles. Muscles of perseverance, faith, endurance, and wisdom. The process may be painful, but the strength it produces is invaluable. If you never faced opposition, how would you develop resilience? If you never encountered failure, how would you learn perseverance? If you never experienced loss, how would you appreciate what you have? Hardships are the training ground for greatness. They force us to dig deeper, to reach higher, and to depend on something greater than ourselves. They separate the weak from the strong, the committed from the complacent, and the determined from the defeated. The truth is, hardship does not define us. It reveals us. It strips away the masks, removes the distractions, and shows us what we are truly made of. Some people run from difficulty, others allow it to shape them. Some complain about the pressure, others use it to grow. The choice is not whether we will face hardships, but how we will respond when they come. Those who understand this principle do not fear adversity, they embrace it as the proving ground for their potential. Life is filled with seasons of joy and seasons of challenge. No one is exempt from trials, no matter how strong their faith may be. It is a mistake to believe that walking with God means a life without hardship. Many assume that if they are doing what is right, if they are living according to divine principles, they will be shielded from trouble. But the truth is, difficulties come to everyone. The righteous and the unrighteous face storms. The wise and the unwise experience setbacks, and the faithful and the unfaithful encounter challenges. The difference is not in whether trials come, but in how we navigate them. God never promised a life without trials, but He did make a greater promise. He said that no matter what we go through, He will be with us. When we walk through the fire, we will not be consumed. When we pass through the deep waters, we will not be overwhelmed. When we face impossible situations, He will make a way. This is the confidence that sustains those who trust in Him. They do not place their hope in their own strength, in their own ability to control life, but in the unshakable faithfulness of the one who holds all things together. There is a reason why God allows His people to go through difficulties. If life were always easy, faith would never be tested. If there were no struggles, we would never learn to rely on divine strength. It is in the moments of uncertainty that trust is built. It is in the moments of weakness that we experience supernatural power. If everything always went according to plan, we would never grow in endurance, in wisdom, or in patience. The trials we face are not punishments, they are preparation. They are shaping us, refining us, and making us into the people we were created to be. When a tree is planted in soft, shallow soil, it does not develop deep roots. The moment a storm comes, it is easily uprooted. But when a tree is planted in tough, rocky ground, it is forced to send its roots deeper in search of stability. It fights against the resistance of the soil, and in doing so, it becomes stronger. When the storms come, that tree stands firm because its roots are anchored deep. In the same way, the difficulties we face force us to go deeper in our faith. They push us beyond surface level belief into a place of unshakable trust. Many people lose their peace when trials come because their faith is based on circumstances. When things are good, they are confident. When things are bad, they are filled with fear. But true faith is not dependent on the situation. It is anchored in the character of God. He does not change. He is the same in the storm as He is in the calm. He is the same in the valley as He is on the mountaintop. When we understand this, we stop allowing hardships to dictate our peace. We stop reacting to life's challenges with fear and instead respond with trust. Some of the greatest lessons in life are learned in the hardest seasons. Strength is developed in struggle. Endurance is built in resistance, and wisdom is gained through trials. Every challenge is an opportunity to grow. Every difficulty is a chance to experience God's faithfulness in a new way. It is in the fire that we are refined. It is in the storm that we learn to stand. And it is in the moments of greatest weakness that divine strength is revealed. The way a person views a challenge determines how they respond to it. When hardships come, some see obstacles while others see opportunities. Some see setbacks while others see setups for growth. It is not the difficulty itself that dictates the outcome. It is the mindset of the individual going through it. Perspective is everything. A person who believes that adversity is meant to destroy them will shrink back in fear, but one who understands that adversity is a tool for growth will face it with confidence. In life, storms are inevitable. They come in many forms: financial struggles, health battles, relational conflicts, unexpected losses. Some storms arrive suddenly while others build over time, but no matter how they come, the greatest determining factor of whether a person overcomes or is overcome is how they choose to see the storm. The difference between fear and faith is perspective. When fear dominates, a person sees the storm as a force too powerful to withstand. But when faith leads, they see the storm as something they can rise above. A ship that sails into rough waters is not in danger because of the waves around it. It is in danger when the water gets inside. In the same way, hardships themselves do not destroy a person. It is the mindset they allow within them that makes the difference. If a person allows doubt, fear, and negativity to take root, they will sink under the weight of their struggles. But if they choose to focus on the strength available to them, they will remain steady even in the fiercest storm. The greatest leaders, the strongest individuals, and the most influential people in history did not become great because they had an easy life. They became great because they chose to see their struggles as training rather than tragedy. They refused to let hardships define them, and instead they used those hardships as stepping stones to something greater. They understood that resistance builds strength, that pressure produces perseverance, and that setbacks are often setups for something better. Consider an eagle in the face of a storm. While other birds seek shelter, the eagle spreads its wings and allows the wind to carry it higher. It does not fight the storm, it uses it. Instead of being pushed down, it soars above the turbulence. This is the posture of a person who refuses to see challenges as obstacles. They recognize that the very thing others run from can be the thing that elevates them. Perspective shapes how a person prays, how they plan, and how they persist. If someone believes a storm is a punishment, they will ask for it to be removed. But if they believe it is a preparation, they will ask for the strength to go through it. If someone sees a hardship as a roadblock, they will stop moving forward. But if they see it as a detour leading to a better destination, they will adjust and keep going. The way a person views the situation determines the outcome more than the situation itself. Two people can go through the same trial and come out with completely different results. One may emerge stronger, wiser, and more determined, while the other may come out bitter, defeated, and discouraged. The difference was not the trial, it was how they perceived it. Those who understand this principle do not ask why hardships come. They ask what they can learn from them. They do not focus on what was lost. They focus on what can be gained. They do not dwell on the difficulty. They fix their eyes on the opportunity it presents. When storms arise, most people look for a place to hide, a way to escape, or a means to avoid the difficulty. Fear takes over, and the instinct is to retreat. But those who understand how adversity works know that storms are not meant to break them. They are meant to lift them higher. The eagle is a perfect example of this truth. Unlike other birds that seek shelter when the wind becomes fierce, the eagle does something extraordinary. It spreads its wings and allows the storm to carry it above the turbulence. It does not fight against the wind. It uses it. In the same way, hardships are not always meant to be avoided. They are meant to be used as stepping stones to greater strength, wisdom, and purpose. The winds of adversity do not come to push a person down. They come to elevate those who are willing to rise. Those who embrace this mindset do not run from difficulty, they lean into it, knowing that within every challenge lies the potential for growth. Instead of seeing opposition as a barrier, they see it as a bridge. Instead of viewing struggles as punishment, they see them as preparation. A person's response to hardship determines whether they are strengthened or weakened by it. Those who live in fear resist every challenge, complain about every difficulty, and retreat at the first sign of trouble. But those who walk by faith recognize that every battle is an opportunity to develop endurance. They understand that pain has a purpose, that pressure produces perseverance, and that struggle is often the doorway to transformation. Growth never happens in comfort. Muscles do not strengthen without resistance. Skills do not improve without effort. Wisdom is not gained without experience. Diamonds are formed under intense pressure, and gold is refined in fire. There is no shortcut to strength. The process of rising above hardship requires a shift in mindset, an understanding that resistance is necessary for growth. Those who embrace this truth do not waste their energy fighting the storm. They use it to soar. Difficulties reveal what a person is truly made of. Anyone can remain confident when the skies are clear and the path is smooth. But true strength is proven when the winds rise and the pressure increases. Many people assume that success is a product of talent or luck, but in reality, it is the result of perseverance. Those who refuse to give up, who refuse to shrink back, and who refuse to let circumstances dictate their destiny are the ones who rise above. They are the ones who turn obstacles into opportunities, who turn setbacks into comebacks, and who use adversity as fuel for their journey forward. The key is not avoiding hardship, but learning how to respond to it. Those who rise above difficulty understand that storms do not last forever, but the strength gained from enduring them does. They do not allow the size of the challenge to intimidate them. They allow it to inspire them. They recognize that the greater the resistance, the greater the potential for breakthrough. They do not let fear dictate their decisions, and they do not allow temporary struggles to rob them of their long-term purpose. The eagle does not waste time worrying about the storm. It does not panic when the winds become strong. It simply spreads its wings, embraces the challenge, and soars higher. This is the posture of those who trust that every hardship carries within it an opportunity to rise. Hardships are a part of life. No one is exempt from them, no matter how strong, wise, or faithful they may be. There are seasons of abundance and seasons of struggle, moments of great victories and moments of deep challenges. It is easy to believe that difficult times will last forever, but the truth is, they are only temporary. The weight of a hardship may feel overwhelming in the moment, but it does not have the power to outlast the faithfulness of God. What seems unbearable today will soon become a testimony of triumph. Storms pass, but God remains. Struggles come, but they do not last. The pain of today is not the end of the story. In the middle of difficulty, it is easy to forget this. It is easy to become discouraged when things are not going as planned, when prayers seem unanswered, and when life feels unfair. But perspective is everything. A person who focuses on the hardship will feel hopeless, but one who focuses on the faithfulness of God will remain steadfast. What a person magnifies in their mind will determine how they navigate their trials. Those who magnify their problems will feel crushed by them. Those who magnify their provider will find strength, even in the most difficult moments. Seasons of hardship often reveal what a person truly believes. It is easy to trust in good times, but real trust is tested when everything seems uncertain. If faith is based only on comfort, then it is not true faith at all. But those who understand the nature of God do not allow hardships to shake their confidence. They know that even when things seem out of control, God is still in control. Even when circumstances seem impossible, He is still working behind the scenes. Even when prayers seem unanswered, he has already made a way. A person who builds their life on temporary things will always be shaken when those things are threatened. But those who build their life on the foundation of God's promises stand firm no matter what comes their way. They are not moved by what they see. They are anchored by what they know. They do not waver in the face of adversity because they understand that hardship is temporary. But the faithfulness of God is eternal. They refuse to let their emotions dictate their decisions, and they refuse to let the fear of the present moment rob them of the future that has been promised. When challenges arise, it is not the time to doubt. It is the time to hold on even tighter. A person does not abandon their anchor in the middle of a storm. They cling to it with everything they have. The same is true when facing hardship. The temptation is to question, to run, or to give up. But the answer is to remain steadfast. Those who endure through difficulty with faith and perseverance come out stronger, wiser, and more prepared for what lies ahead. Everything that is happening is part of a greater process. Nothing is wasted and nothing is without purpose. Just as gold is refined through fire, just as diamonds are formed under pressure, and just as seeds break through the ground after being buried, every challenge is producing something valuable. Those who trust in this process do not allow the temporary discomfort of today to rob them of the promise of tomorrow. They do not allow a difficult moment to define them or defeat them. They know that no matter how dark the night, morning always comes. No matter how heavy the burden, strength is always provided. And no matter how fierce the battle, victory is already assured. Resting in God's care is not a passive act. It is an intentional decision to trust that He is in control, even when life seems chaotic. It is easy to trust when things are going well, when prayers are answered quickly, and when circumstances align with expectations. But true trust is tested in moments of uncertainty, in seasons of hardship, and in times when everything seems to be falling apart. The ability to rest in God's care is not based on how things appear, but on the unshakable truth that He is always present, always working, and always faithful. Worry is a natural response to difficulty, but worry does not change circumstances. It only drains strength, steals peace, and magnifies fear. The more a person focuses on their problems, the bigger those problems seem. But when they shift their focus to God, their perspective changes. He is greater than any challenge, stronger than any opposition, and more faithful than any circumstance. Choosing to rest in Him means surrendering the need to control everything and believing that He is already making a way. It means releasing fear and replacing it with confidence in His promises. In nature, a child does not worry about whether their parents will provide food, shelter, or protection. They rest in the assurance that their needs will be met. In the same way, those who truly trust in God do not live in fear of the future. They understand that He is their provider, their protector, and their guide. They do not carry burdens they were never meant to bear. They do not allow fear to dictate their actions. They do not let uncertainty shake their faith. Instead, they rest in the security of His care, knowing that He has already gone ahead and prepared the way. Life is unpredictable. There are moments of great joy and moments of great sorrow. There are seasons of abundance and seasons of lack. But the one thing that remains constant is the presence of God. His care is not dependent on circumstances. It is eternal, unchanging, and unwavering. Those who anchor themselves in this truth do not live with anxiety about what is to come. They do not allow difficulties to consume their thoughts. They understand that their future is secure, not because of their own ability, but because of the one who holds all things together. Resting in God's care does not mean ignoring responsibilities or refusing to take action. It means doing what is necessary while trusting Him with the outcome. It means praying with confidence, moving forward with faith, and refusing to let fear dictate decisions. It means believing that even in the waiting, even in the struggle, and even in the unknown, He is working all things together for good. It is a deep assurance that no matter how strong the storm, no matter how uncertain the path, No matter how impossible things seem, He remains in control. Those who rest in God's care live differently. They are not consumed by stress. They do not react in fear, and they do not allow challenges to overwhelm them. They walk in peace even when life is difficult. They trust in the process even when they do not understand it. They stand firm in faith even when the answers have not yet come. This kind of rest is not laziness, nor is it avoidance. It is a powerful declaration of trust, a refusal to be shaken by temporary circumstances, and a choice to believe that He is always faithful. Through every trial, every hardship, and every moment of uncertainty, there is a choice to be made: to surrender to fear or to rest in unshakable faith. Hardships are not meant to destroy, but to strengthen, not to break, but to build. They are the refining fire that purifies, the resistance that produces endurance, and the storms that teach how to soar. The difference between those who are defeated and those who overcome is not the absence of challenges, but the presence of trust in the one who holds all things together. Perspective shapes the outcome of every trial. Those who see difficulties as obstacles will retreat in fear, but those who see them as opportunities will rise in faith. The weight of hardship does not last forever, but the strength it produces remains. Worry does not change circumstances, but trust in God changes everything. When fear whispers that the storm is too great, faith declares that the storm is temporary and victory is certain. True rest is not the absence of struggle, but the assurance that even in the struggle, God is working. It is the deep, unwavering confidence that no matter how strong the winds blow, no matter how uncertain the path may seem, and no matter how long the waiting lasts, His faithfulness never fails. Those who stand firm in this truth will not be shaken, will not be consumed by fear, and will not be overwhelmed by the trials of life. They will walk in peace, rise above every storm, and come out stronger, wiser, and more prepared for the purpose that lies ahead.